Ho, 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 everyone. Merry Sunday. It's the 22nd of December. Crikey. Isn't it 3 days till the Christmas?
Yeah,
Good
it
God.
is, yeah. That's it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12, the Christmas special of the Decade Parade. I'm Liam.
I'm Tim.
And we've got a little, not exactly a Christmas special, but it's more of an end-of-the-year special because, well, despite my cool hip Christmas jumper, I don't think me and Tim are really that festive. Festive.
So this is the recap episode, part 1 for December 2009.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we keep forgetting what
I know.
year it is. Like,
I know. Hang on, it's 2019.
So we recap over what happened this month in 2009 in terms of games. But before we get to any of that, we'll talk about what each of us have been doing recently.
Hang on, Tim. What about for those people who are first-time listeners and don't know what this podcast is about?
Oh, well, basically, yeah, right, okay. Basically, we revisit old games from 10 years ago, or if there's nothing, we just make it up like we have done this month and just designate a game to each other what we want each other to play that we've not played before.
Yeah, so for this episode, we got top fives, we got recaps, we got 2 games for the price of 1. So yeah, it's going to be awful.
Yeah, so we'll just jump into it. So yeah, like we said, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, last night I watched the new Star Wars.
Ooh, I've not watched it yet. Go on, how is it?
It was.
I've seen so many positive things, and then you come here and give me that face.
No, you know me. I've talked to you about what I think about Force Awakens and Last Jedi before.
Yeah.
And, compared to Last Jedi, it was okay. It was good. It was.
Did it wrap things up?
Yes and no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
About maybe it wrapped things up about maybe I'd say about 70%, but still left a fair bit unexplained.
So if somebody, I'm going watching it on Boxing Day. I think if somebody was like, you know what, there's too much Star Wars shit. I'm only going to watch one of these Star Wars things that have happened this season. You've pretty much
this season.
Yeah, well, it is, isn't it? It's practically
this trilogy. You mean?
No, I mean this literally like season as in December.
Oh right,
November,
okay.
Because we've had Mandalorian, we've had the Star Wars game, we've had the Star Wars film. Which one would you? Because you've pretty much experienced all of them now.
Definitely the game, the Last Jedi. I can't remember the Fallen Order. Sorry,
Yeah.
There's too much Star Wars stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely Jedi Order. Fallen Order. Good God. Then Mandalorian, and then if you really must watch, I can't remember its fucking name now. Rise of Skywalker. That's it.
I mean, to be fair, most people have seen. Well, if you've seen the first 2, you're not going to not watch it. So, like we've said
That's
before.
it. But yeah, as I said, it was satisfying. It had its as a wrap up to a trilogy. It was okay.
Yeah.
But like, I felt like this whole trilogy as a whole, since Disney took over, was just okay at best. It was more on the lines of the prequels levels of movies rather than.
Hopefully, now the trilogy's done, they can look back and think, you know what, we need to be a bit more original, so to speak, and a bit more out there.
Yeah, they might have, I feel like they did play it a bit too safe.
Yeah,
for this
definitely.
trilogy, just because it was like, they're just testing the waters, kind of.
And honestly, it's J.J. Abrams in it.
Yeah,
which I like him, but it says a lot because he's pretty run of the mill at this point.
He's running out of steam a bit thinking about it. I don't know, it's just like, I feel like with this trilogy, people try to do too many things with it, like direction-wise, so it felt like it was going in one direction, and then someone went, hang on, let's put it in this direction. It felt too convoluted, like it didn't have a sense of, like a goal, like an end-game goal, because, like, especially with Kylo Ren, like, his character, like, I felt like he was all over the place for all 3 movies, especially in this last one. But no, to be fair, in this, the new one, I did like his character a lot more.
Yeah.
Because in the first 2 movies, I thought he was just a little bitch. I really did. I thought he was just a child.
He's in that new film. Well, is it newish called Marriage Story?
They only came out either end of November or beginning of this month.
Yeah, and it's just come to Netflix, hasn't it?
With Scarlett Johansson.
But he's meant to be absolutely brilliant in
that.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've not got a problem with Adam Driver.
Oh, yeah.
The actor. I mean, I've got a problem with Kylo Ren as a character, not with the actor. I think Adam Driver's great.
Yeah. But the point where I was going with that is apparently he's meant to be amazing in that Marriage Story, and yet he's not really. I don't feel like he's used much in the Star Wars films as what he could physically do.
What he can do, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's Star Wars. I'm sick of talking about Star Wars in this.
Yeah, it's worth at least one watch,
Yeah.
but it still left me feeling a bit like, okay, that was that then.
Anything else? What have you been watching, playing, listening?
Thingy finally came out on PC. Halo Master
Oh,
Chief
yeah,
Collection.
yeah.
I got that as soon as it came out. It's very weird what they're doing with it because they released like the multiplayer packages like a whole, like it's all there, like all 120 maps that came out, throughout all of Halo's lifetime before Halo 5.
Yeah.
So that's all the like game modes, everything, firefight, etc., etc., etc. But with the campaigns, they're releasing it campaign by campaign.
No.
So they've only, at the moment of it releasing, they've
still not released the full
technically it's not fully released. So
yeah.
So they've at the moment they've only got Halo Reach out. That's it. So I think they're going to release the first Halo, and then
So if I went on PC and I bought the Master Chief Collection on Steam, I can only play Reach.
Yeah, until the rest could get released. I know, it's mad. It's very weird.
It's literally called Collection.
Yeah.
And there's one.
Well, you'll get some smart ass who goes like, "Well, you got a collection of multiplayer stuff." It's very strange. Like I'm not seeing anything like, especially when.
I'm so glad you've told me that because I was close to buying it, and I'm just gonna wait now.
No, to be fair, I only bought it straight away because I wanted to play Reach again.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to play all of them, obviously I can't. But
to be fair, it's only, is it 35 quid?
30 quid.
30
so
quid. Yeah, it's not too bad.
And again, I imagine most people get Halo for the multiplayer anyway.
Of course, especially on PC.
So since all that's there anyway,
I bet it's booming on PC in terms of multiplayer.
Literally, the day I bought it and I looked online, like how many people were playing it at once, it was already up to like 130,000 players at once.
It's not bad.
It's obviously divvied down now to about 30, 40,000, but
yeah.
I feel like that was when most people realised like it only just had Halo Reach on it. It is very strange. What else have I been playing? Trying to think. I've not really been playing much else. I've just been cracking on with Halo, playing multiplayer Halo. No, I think that's about it really. Game wise, what have you been playing?
I pretty much Death Stranding.
Is that
honestly, that's it. I've not done anything.
Have you not finished it yet?
God, no. I think I'm getting there. It's weirdly paced, but not in a bad way. It's just like, oh god, this is so Kojima. Right,
that's so Kojima.
Basically, I think there's about 14 episodes or chapters. They're called episodes, but 14 chapters. I've got past chapter 3, which is like the big one. There's 1 and then 2, and then you go to a new like the Middle America. So they say, which is like massive, and then it kind of like all opens up for you. And you spend a massive chunk of time in chapter 3. Chunk of time in chapter 3. And then I got past chapter 3, which, fuck the end of that. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but fuck Kojima. Oh, honestly, there's some points in this game where I think he's doing this to take the piss. He's doing this to take the piss. But yeah, once I get past chapter 3, it's like you do a little bit, you do like one delivery. Right, that's chapter 4. You do another delivery. Right, that's chapter 5. And it's like, where's this going? Like, and then kind of like, there's a few bits that are a bit longer, but still, like, they're really short. I'm still about 50 hours playing so far, and I'm on chapter 8. And like I said, I think there's 14, but they are going a lot. And I've heard the last chunk of them as well go even faster. Like, it's literally just bang, 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 bang. So, we'll see. But yeah, I am loving it, but I do feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm like,
you feel a bit burnt out.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I just want to just airline the main story which I'm doing.
I have so many games like that these days where I start off like proper into it, like doing all the side quests and stuff. Then I feel like, I just want to get this done, and then I ignore everything other than just the main story.
Yeah, well, I think the main reason that it's burnt out for me is that there's a couple of trophies that I was going for. Because I thought, I'm going to try and get the platinum on this because I'm enjoying it. And it's kind of like get legendary ranking or legend of legend ranking on 20. But yeah, you can get legend ranking if you... Basically how it works, you get a delivery and you can change it to like a harder delivery, like a premium one. And it just reduces the stats, like make sure your cargo has less damage or make sure you get it there quicker, like at a time, whatever. And... The trophy description is really piss poor. It just says, the first one is get 10, and then there's a second one that says do 20. So I did 20, no trophy popped. So I looked into it, and it's get 10 of each type, and there's 4 different types. and then get 20 of each type, and there's 4 different. So basically 120 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Right.
So there's like time, cargo quality, cargo weight, and then a misc, whatever that is. So when I did that, I went out my way of doing all these deliveries. I got to 20, and I'm like, wait, there's nothing fucking popped here. And then I realised, and then after that, I realised that the second one isn't just for Legend, it's for Legend of Legends, which you can only get if you're playing on hard. And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm only playing on normal. Right. You can change it midway, but I thought, I'm not doing it until I've done all the story.
Wouldn't that like mess up your trophies as well if you change difficulty midway?
I don't think there's a trophy for completing it on,
right.
But yeah, so I'll probably go back to it at the end. It's just annoying as well because I've got to a point where I've got zip lines and I'm in like a mountainous area where it's a ball ache, well, snow everywhere and stuff like that. So I built this entire like zip line system to get to these different like areas to do deliveries, and then they basically degenerate over time, and then I was like, oh, for fuck. So basically, I've spent hours doing all these things. They're degenerating or degrading or whatever, and then I basically have to do it all again. I thought, fuck it, I'll leave it. I'll come back at the end. But yeah, that's that. So I'm just airlining the main story now.
Sorry, it won't, right.
But yeah, it's on offer. You should buy it. It's 35 quid in Tesco.
Cool.
Go and buy it. I'll get it for free like you should have done.
I feel like that's I feel like because it's December now, I feel like the game you'd get would probably have changed by now.
Yeah, probably.
No, it's fine. Actually, I'm going to get it on PC anyway, so I'm waiting for it. I'll be there in my superior PC game.
To be fair, it looks incredible.
Oh, no, it does. Like the videos I've seen on it are just great.
It's absolutely stunning. There's definitely some janky bits, but yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it, but I'm not in a rush to play it.
Right.
What else is happening this? No. We need to talk about what else has come out this month. I think it finally came out on Netflix, The Witcher.
Oh yeah, I've still not watched it.
You still not watched it? I finished episode 3. I think there's 8 altogether.
Yeah, it's
good. I like it. Like I said, I've not read the books. I only play the games. I know bits and pieces of what happens in the books.
I've heard that's a problem because it pretty much throws people in the deep end.
It does.
It kind of expects you to have read the books.
It does. I said this to you. It's better to go in when you know about the world of The Witcher because it doesn't explain things very well at all. It gives you like bare bones.
So even with you just playing Witcher, you've only played Witcher 3, haven't you?
I play Witcher 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I'm a proper fucking Witcher
not a fucking
game fan.
Hipster bandwagon.
No, none of this fucking Witcher 3 only shit.
I can't say anything. So you have good knowledge of it then.
Yeah,
You've got that.
So even if I feel like even if I had just played Witcher 3, I'd be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's just things like I can't remember what they're called now. You know, the Witcher spells like that, them bits of magic they can do with their hand signs. What they call signs. That's it. Yeah. They don't explain that in the show. So he's just like doing like like I call it the force push. But
is it because you've come from a game though where everything is explained to you? Is it not because of that? Because what's it going to do in the TV series? Like, oh, just stop a minute and we'll just explain what he's doing here. Like, oh, you can do this, and he can like cast sign. Like, you know what I mean? Where in the game, it stops. There's like a tutorial. You could have had
like a little moment of like someone sees him do it, and he goes, "Someone could go, I didn't know witches could use magic," and he goes, "Someone could have explained like a quick explanation." It's like, oh, it's not just this. They could have basically what I'm saying is they could have done it better.
I think it's difficult to do that stuff without it coming across as patronising. You know, do you know what I mean?
I know, like ruining the flow a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like stopping and starting for. I feel like just let things happen and people just pick it up.
Yeah, but the way they've done it in the show is that they basically say that the only ones who can use magic is witches and the mages, basically. Yeah. So then obviously you can see witches doing it as well. So it just leads people to assume that they could do more. Right. But they can only literally do I think it's like the 6 things or whatever.
I mean, maybe it'll come more into it when it goes through like the grass fucking whatever it's called.
Yeah, again, I'm only on like episode 3, so they might explain it.
I'm guessing I'm not going to do any spoilers actually. No, forget it. Because I suppose people are going to watch it for the not really fucking no, fuck you. If you don't want to listen to any spoilers about Witcher, I'm guessing it's Ciri is young in it because it's practically right at the beginning of the series in it, so she's not gone through the trials of the thing to become a Witcher essentially.
No, her and Geralt haven't even met yet.
Well, exactly. So once it starts going into that, it'll probably start explaining the fact how witches can do magic and stuff because that's how it does in the books anyway.
What I gather. The point in the story is that Yennefer hasn't even become like a witch yet.
Oh, bloody hell.
So that's how far back it is.
Okay. To be honest, I've read the books up to the second to last one, and
Yeah.
I'm struggling to finish it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've got like 2 hours left of the audiobook, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. I think they're quite poor.
In terms of what?
The book, just
in terms of like how it's written?
Yeah, I'd say how they're written. Obviously, I enjoy the story of it, but I think how it's written, it's not enjoyable.
I've not read the book, so I don't know. I'm literally just going off what I've seen in the games.
But I think I'm going to have to finish the books, but yeah.
Haven't CD Projekt Red worked out like a deal with
just
the original,
deal,
right? Yeah. Ooh, I don't know what that's going to be.
For basically more games in that universe.
Ooh, baby, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But I think he's not doing any more books in that universe, is he? I think it's pretty much wrapped up now.
He's just living off the what he gets from
I'm sure he's going to
series now.
I'm sure he's made enough money off just the Netflix series, and then why not throw another game in?
When he's not too busy trying to sue CD Projekt Red for.
It was a joke that anyway. If
they'd
really just gone to them, they seem reasonable. Obviously, they seem reasonable. They've just gone and struck a deal. They didn't have to.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Essentially, they've still got the rights to.
Yeah, at the time that he did what he did, it kind of made sense because pretty much no one knew what The Witcher was. It was only the first Witcher game that was out. So
I'm sure he's made shitloads of money just from that game release and people buying the books.
It was obviously too greedy. He saw Witcher became this massive fame thanks to Witcher 2 and 3, and he just wanted more. And again, I understand why he did what he did at the time that he did it, but he just got too greedy.
Yeah. Seems like a bit of a dick.
Fuck that guy.
Anywho, but thanks for The Witcher. It's a good world.
Good world. I love The Witcher. It's a very, very intriguing world.
Is that all that's happened this month then? It's been a busy month, I suppose.
The Game Awards as well. How were you with the results for the Game Awards?
Fine.
Yeah. Did you not want... I know a lot of people wanted Resident Evil 2 to win Game of the Year.
No.
No. Were you happy that's...
To be fair, I don't think... Not that I don't think it should. I think it's a remake, innit?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of them, ooh... But I get that it's completely built from the ground up, so it is essentially a brand new game. But... Alas.
I know.
Plus, there's so many new games. And Disco Elysium, man.
I'm so glad Sekiro won, if I'm perfectly honest.
No, yeah. I've said all along, if it's not Disco Elysium, Sekiro, I'd say. Even though I didn't finish it or anything. But from what I played, I can tell that game's, it is a brilliant game.
Yeah.
I'm just shit. So
you fucking get good.
But yeah, IGN can go and suck a nut for the...
Sorry, go on.
For the Control winning it.
Oh, no, fuck that.
Control. I've heard so many things about it being broken and, not working right, glitchy as fuck and everything, and yet they give it Game of the Year.
No, very strange choice.
There's so many other games, even Death Stranding, I know it's controversial and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but you can't deny what that game...
No, you can't deny
it. It works, it's absolutely gorgeous. If you're into that kind of game, it's fucking brilliant. It's an absolute masterpiece. It is a masterpiece in what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's completely something new. Nothing's ever been like it before.
No.
Within reason.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
But yeah, Control, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Remedy anymore. I absolutely despised...
Why? Do you not like it anymore?
I despise Quantum Break. And then...
Why?
Oh, it was just dog shit. Have you played it?
I bought the PC version not too long ago.
But you've not played it all?
I played maybe 2 hours.
It's dog shit, man. It's dog shit.
Like what, in terms of the port or like the game, just the game as a whole?
The gameplay is awful. The story is awful.
I must admit, the shooting did feel very
it's shit.
floaty.
It's fucking shit.
It actually felt like I was made of water.
and then there's people scratching their heads why Control didn't even chart. It did not even chart.
I remember I remember Control coming out, and I must have heard people talking about it for about 2 weeks, and then they just disappeared.
Yeah,
no one was talking about it after that.
I listened to, like I said, the Collins Last Stand or whatever podcast and stuff, and he's constantly saying on there, it's still not even got into the charts. And they keep coming out doing speeches like, "Oh, we're selling well. It's going to have a long lifetime of like low sales, but it'll keep selling and stuff." And it's like, well, why do you need to say this?
I know, you said like you're trying to convince yourself, yeah.
It's like, but yeah.
No one cares. It's like, why are you telling us?
I'm just not a fan of them anymore. I think I enjoyed, they did Max Payne 3, didn't they?
No. That was Rockstar.
No, but it was through Remedy, wasn't it? Rockstar published it. Remedy made it.
No, Rockstar made it. That's why it was so much better than 1 and 2.
Did Remedy do 1 and 2?
Yes.
Right, that's what I'm thinking of. I was adamant that they did 3.
No.
And Rockstar did 1 and 2.
No, Rockstar, it was the way around. Rockstar did 3. Remedy did 1 and 2.
Well, my point that I was going to make is retracted, because I was going to say that's the last one I enjoyed that they did. Like Max Payne 3.
It wasn't even by Remedy, so that fucking just solidifies your point that you fucking hate Remedy.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm just not a fan. And I remember there's been like chat about PlayStation or Sony buying Remedy out, you know, as a new first party studio, and I've been like, no, please, for the love of God, don't. Like, the sales are piss poor, as we've seen. I'm looking now at Max Payne 3 because I still don't believe you.
I'm fucking awful. I'm right, to be honest.
Max Payne 3.
I could feel my bum hole
developer is correct.
God, it's right cool to be right. Go to school, kids.
Right, shall we move on? Fuck you prick. Shall we move on to what come out 10 years ago this month?
We're going to do our top 5 first.
Shall we finish with the top 5? We'll do what come out this month 10 years ago.
Yeah, I guess, because it is quite short list this month.
We'll recap our top 5 games of the year.
Yeah.
And then that's it for this episode. And then we'll go on to part 2.
Fair enough. So yeah, for all you new kids who are joining us for the first time and want to be part of the cool gang, what we do at this part is what we do for this part is we basically just look back at the games that came out of December 2009, and we just basically give you our little say so on what we think about it, if we do know anything about it at all.
It's pretty short.
It is pretty short. The reason why we've done what we've done with the games this month, where we chose a game for each other again, like we did in
March.
April,
March.
episode 4, wasn't it? Yeah, because it was like a birthday special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. The reason why we did what we done with this episode is because we couldn't really find anything that was worth covering for this month, because it is quite a bare bones list. I mean, there are some decent ones, but it would have been pretty hard to get a hold of. Yeah,
the only one I would have said is that Saboteur, but we'll go to that.
Or even that Spirit Tracks. It's just spoiling the list already.
Yeah, right. On December the 1st, Colin McRae Dirt 2.
Haven't we mentioned?
I feel like that.
We mentioned that already.
This is just the Windows release
version,
but I left it on because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Dirt 2. I think this is more your thing. This because
Dirt's incredible.
Yeah,
it's a bloody good game. I don't think it's got as much Steam as it used to, but there you go.
You can get it on Steam now, so Steam joke.
Same.
Also, 4 games on the one day.
Yeah, so still December the 1st. James Cameron Avatar, the game, to PS3, Xbox 360, Windows, Wii, DS, and iOS.
I've heard this was actually
it's good when it comes to so many platforms, including mobile platforms.
I know. What was I going to say? Yeah, I heard it was pretty decent for like a movie game. This it basically had like a set part of the story at the beginning, but then you got to a point where you could like split off. So, have you ever seen Avatar?
Yeah, once.
Yeah, I saw it once, like many years ago.
I think it's so overhyped.
Speaking of, did you see that James Cameron came out and he said that he thinks Avatar 2 is going to make more money than Endgame?
Yeah, he's like, honestly, I'm picturing him now as the Peter Molyneux of the movie world.
The movie world, yeah. He's getting a bit full of himself.
He's such a fucking...
I wanted to love to have seen his reaction when Endgame finally outdid Avatar.
The thing is, the only reason Avatar's got so many is because he kept re-releasing it with new cuts and new scenes.
It was just the whole 3D thing.
Didn't he like? Obviously, there was the initial release. Then he added some extra scenes, and then he released it again. Then he released like a 3D one.
Yeah,
he released it like 4 or 5 times or something.
Oh yeah,
and then that all adds up.
Yeah.
People re-go and watch it, and it's like, those numbers aren't accurate.
No,
Endgame did that pretty much on its first release, and then it released again with end credits like a month after.
Yeah. And
then that's what tipped it over. But apart from that, fuck you.
No, it definitely won't do as well as the first one this time, because every 3D unless it could do something completely brand new, like in terms of how you view it, it's just not going to.
I'm sure James Cameron will come up with something where he thinks it's brand new, but it's not.
It's not really. It's just something that's already been done, but just under a fancy name.
Yeah.
It's like introducing 6D. But what was I going to say? Yeah, you basically get to a point in like the game, and you can either join I don't know what the name of the peoples are, the avatars, the blue people, the Smurfs. Yeah, I was just going to say that. You can either join the Smurfs, so you get to play like a more of like a It's like the gameplay is different between the two. It's like so the avatar side is more like bow and arrows and like you craft stuff and you basically use like the environment to your advantage and shit like that. You got animals helping you, or you can join the I don't know the names, the human side, and it's more like a typical third person shooter with like fucking mechs and stuff like that. But I don't know about you, but
it sounds awful.
It sounds awful. I hate those little fucking blue
the US military fighting Smurfs.
Basically the stereotypical evil Marines, basically. I don't know about you, but I hate those Smurfs, so I'd join the humans if I ever played that. Moving on, again, December 1st, we had Resident Evil Archives, Resident Evil 0.
Don't you love a game where it repeats itself?
Resident Evil Archives, Resident Evil 0, the Resident Evilist. I think this was just Resident Evil 0, but just the Wii part. I have no idea if I'm right, though.
You're probably right.
But yeah, Resident Evil...
I think the 0 represents how many sales it got.
Die, sorry. Resident Evil 0, I think... It's not the remake of the first one. I think it was like it was that one with friggin' what's her name? Rebecca Chambers. I think it was like one that took place either as a side story that was happening alongside the first one, or something that happened in the same mansion from the first game, but before the original characters from the first game got there. I have no idea. My Resident Evil. You're just
saying words now.
I am. I'm just saying something, hoping so someone listening to go, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. No, I think it was a story that happened before the first one happened. I might be wrong though.
So a prequel.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. I could have summed it all up and said it was just a prequel. Yeah, I think that's why it was called Resident Evil 0, because it was obviously 0 comes before 1.
Yeah. Moving on, Rogue Warrior still on December the 1st.
Oh, just let me double check if this is what I think it is. Just chat bollocks to him.
It come to the PS3, it come to Windows, and it come to the 360. And it's about a warrior that goes rogue.
Keep it going, the straight stuff.
That's all I've got, unfortunately. That's all I've got from that
Yeah,
title.
It is just a game I'm thinking of. Right, previously, in a previous podcast, we had a game during one of these lists that we were reading, and I said I thought it was this game that we were talking about now.
Right.
So I talked about it back then, but I can't remember what that other one that shows. I think it was actually like a...
Warrior Rogue.
No, it was something with Rogue in it, and I thought it was this. And, no, I think it turned out to be like an RTS or something.
All right.
But no, this Rogue Warrior is actually the one I was thinking of. And it was, so it's like a very bad third person shooter, like Hitman style kind of thing. But it was that game with, the credits were, the main guy starts like actually singing the song that's on it. I'm just going to play it like a little bit of to see what you're dealing with here. Oh, what's happened? Sorry. Oh, God. Hang on. We'll edit this out.
Yeah.
This is the main voice actor of the main character singing.
This is in the game.
Morons will love this. Hope you assholes like fireworks. Fucking commies keep getting in my way. No surprise, motherfuckers. Happy fucking birthday. That's right, 99.
Oh my God, why did we not play this?
Enjoy the ride, cocksucker. Have a nice trip. Boom time, baby.
Boom time.
Come on, I got places to go and people to meet. Assholes are everywhere. Fuckers are out in force. Hi-ho, this fucker's gonna blow.
That is incredible. Why did we not play this game?
It's literally, if you think back to Mercenaries 2, the only good thing about that game was the fucking "Oh No You Didn't" song. If you remember that.
No, I didn't really get into Mercenaries, to be honest.
Do you not remember that song, though?
No.
Alright, I'm going to play that.
No,
no, I'm joking. It's always like, oh no, you didn't.
Oh, no,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the only good thing about that game was that song, and I feel like the only good thing about this is that song I just played today.
That's incredible. That's really good.
That's the only fucking...
Can you buy that on Spotify or anything? Or iTunes?
I have no idea.
I feel like we need to get that to Christmas #1, saying that it's already been and gone. But
come on, guys. I know the Christmas chat is closed, but we can do it, guys.
Yeah. Next year.
We can, man. That's pretty good.
That's good. That I enjoyed that.
Sorry, I'm dying. Sorry.
Right, so next.
Too much excitement.
Yep. Next, December 7th, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks.
Wasn't this the one with the train?
I have no idea.
No, there's been so many Zelda
I'm not a Zelda guy until Breath of the Wild, to be honest. So anything before that is lost.
I think Spirit Tracks was. I can't remember if it was the one with when Zelda gets turned into like a giant suit of armor, or if it was. I think it was just the one with the train. I can't remember they're both in one. Tell you what, we keep chatting bollocks, but we never actually research this stuff. So I'm going to actually look it up now.
All right, I'll carry on while you search that. December the 8th. Saboteur.
We were closely considering this game, weren't we?
Because I've heard good things about this.
I
feel like it's this one. I feel like this is. A lot of people said it's a genuine, like, underrated game, but I may be way off here. But anyway, it comes to PS3, 360, and Windows. I can't think of it though. I know it. I can see the box, but I can't recollect any gameplay of it. Or trailers.
What, Saboteur?
Yeah.
Wasn't it just like a GTA style game, but like set in? I think it was in France while it was under Nazi occupation. I think.
All right, okay.
I think, but it was obviously, as the name implies, you were just basically sabotaging everything.
Right.
But like the big thing was it was all in black and white, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like as you freed areas from the Nazi control, it all like started getting colorized and stuff like that.
Right, okay.
It was a niche that didn't really add any kind of significance. But yeah, sorry, going back to Spirit Tracks. Yeah, it was what I was thinking of. It's like the one with like the train, but also the one where Zelda gets turned into like a big suit of armor. I don't know. I'll show you a quick picture, but I don't know if you've like seen it or not. That one.
Yeah.
It rings them any kind of bells.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that one. Never played it. I don't think I've ever played a Zelda game on DS. No, I tell a lie. I played, but this was on 3DS when they released the Majora's Mask version.
Yeah,
but never like ones like that though. But yeah, it was really good though, as the majority of Zelda games are.
Yeah. Next game, Silent Hill: Shattered Memories. We've played this.
Oh, I said, didn't we play that together?
We have played this.
Yeah, it was good. It was good because like the game used to tailor itself to like the things you. Because it did like a bit where you were getting like psychoanalysis.
Yeah.
And it kind of altered the game to like the answers you picked.
It gives you a multiple choice. Do you hit rats or spiders? And then you pick one, and then
there's giant rats and giant spiders, stuff like that. I know. But remember, this was 10 years ago, so back then it was like, wow, this game really adapts to my choices.
So then when you know, you just go, well, I hate spiders, so I'll pick rats.
Yeah.
Saying that, there's no really good choice there, is there?
But yeah, I don't think I've ever played a Silent Hill game all the way through. Like
no.
I've seen lots of bits and pieces of like various Silent Hill games over the year, but I've always been more of like a Resident Evil guy than a Silent Hill guy.
I feel like I've played more Silent Hill, but I'm the same. I've never finished one. I've definitely played more Silent Hill than Resident Evil.
I've always heard Silent Hill 2 and 3 are the ones to go for.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of 2, but I played it in the same way when I used to play like Metal Gear 2 when I was a kid, where I got to a point and then I got too scared and then I dropped out and then I just kept playing like the first opening like hour or two or something like that.
Obviously, you just kept going back.
Just that ship on Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, yeah.
2, 3?
Yeah, where you play Snake on the...
Yeah, I know, I always remember I played the bit where you get to a corridor where they're all like pretty much the whole way down the corridor on the ship.
Yeah.
They're just shooting you and shit on Metal Gear. And then that was it. That was the end of the game for me. And then I'd restart from the beginning. I just liked taking them out and just throwing them over the side of the ship, to be honest.
Moving on. December the 11th, Angry Birds. Was this the first Angry Birds game?
I believe so.
Yeah,
10 years.
Figured out Angry Birds. That definitely fucking took off, didn't it?
Yeah, it'll be the original launch, that, won't it? About 10 years.
Yeah, crazy how much how far it's come since then. Like, they've had movies, they've had
TV series,
they've had many other sequels to like the original game.
Yep.
They've had Angry Birds in space.
They've had a Star Wars one and stuff, haven't they? And,
they've had like pinball versions of the game. It's like, this just from like a.
To be fair, it is a good.
It is like the idea is literally just grabbing, like pulling back on like the bird and flinging it, but then it was one of those games that loads of other like app developers started copying, so you saw like all kinds of like Angry Bird clone games coming out after that.
But yeah, it is good.
So again, like we were saying when we got to Demon Souls in October, like it's crazy to think that we're at a point now where we're still getting games that came out that kind of like kickstarted like an entire like subgenre kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like, what Angry Birds also did. As childish as the game is, you can't deny like the impact it had on just like general like arcadey kind of games. Yeah, moving on. December 26th. This is a mouthful. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: The Crystal Bearers for the Wii.
Yeah.
Don't think, but I also don't think, which is why I'm going to go on my phone again. I might be thinking of Final Fantasy Tactics, but I think Crystal Chronicles wasn't like a turn-based one as well.
It's on the Wii, so it's probably its own thing in it that they made specifically for the Wii, like everything else. I'd love to know how many developers lost money on Wii titles because they had to develop specifically for that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What you mean, like, because they had to make like separate versions.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much
different versions of like a game.
And I know
that
the
was
Wii sold
out.
well, but it was all grannies, wasn't it? So there was no grannies going out buying Final Fantasy frigging Crystal Chronicles. Is there?
I like to think there is.
I bet there's a few, but literally few.
I'm looking at it and it doesn't look like what I'm thinking of, so I can't really say what kind of Final Fantasy this was.
Yeah, it's probably, like I say, it's probably just some random. I wouldn't even think about it.
Probably what.
I left it on because there was.
It's Final Fantasy, and yeah.
There's not much else.
Yeah, I can't really say much about that. But it's Final Fantasy, so you can't really go wrong. But just looking at the things that it got like 6 out of 10 and stuff like that, so apparently you can go wrong. And then lastly, we got December 28th, Castlevania: The Adventure Rebirth for the WiiWare. What do you think that was? Do you think it was like a part WiiWare release of the first one?
Yeah, pretty much. I bet it's something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Castlevania, for bloody hell. Another game that kickstarted off like a massive own thing of its own.
Yep.
I mean, literally, you always get games, a genre of games called Metroidvania, where it's like just this idea of going through like a 2D like game and getting new powers or abilities that opens up, ways that were previously locked. So it just opens up. Like, not just that, like, it also helps you like during like combat and stuff like that. And I played a lot of like Metroidvania games, but I don't think I tell a lie, I played Castlevania games, but it was them ones that got made for the PS3 and 360, the Lord of Shadow ones. The first one that Hideo Kojima helped, like,
right.
Well, not help make, he supervised, like, he offered his expertise basically. So the first one was really good, but he didn't help on the second one. That's why the second one wasn't
really?
as good. Yeah.
I've no knowledge of that, to be honest. So yeah.
It's funny because the first one was really good. Like it was based, just think Castlevania but mixed with like God of War. Think that. And then the second one, while good, they had some questionable choices. Like one of them was they actually had like a stealth segment in it. So there was a stealth segment in this like Castlevania game. I like to think that the people who made these Castlevania games, because they didn't have Hideo Kojima helping them this time, I like to think they sat there and thought, right, what would Hideo Kojima do? And someone slammed their fist on the desk and went, stealth segments. He made Metal Gear Solid. So let's put fucking stealth segments in a Castlevania game.
Yeah, but that's not far off.
No, I remember because I enjoyed the first Lord of Shadows. That was what it was called, Castlevania: The Lord of Shadows. Because I enjoyed the first one, I was quite excited for the second one. But when I heard that they were planning on putting stealth segments in the second one, I just thought, why? Why are you doing this? And yet, lo and behold, the second one, while it was just okay. It was probably like a 5 or a 6 kind of game. So yeah, that's that.
Yep, there you go.
So yeah, that's all for December. It wasn't really an exciting month, as you can see.
No, I think everyone blows the load over November, don't they, I suppose, for the Christmas period. And then it's just like, well...
It's crazy. You think they'd save it for December for when everyone's going to be buying shit.
Yeah, I mean, even straight after Christmas, when people have got money, everything's paid for and more. I know, like Christmas money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can go out and buy a new game, a big release, straight after Christmas or something. Like the week after Christmas.
Like even during summertime, you don't see that much.
Well, Ghost of Tsushima's got a date, hasn't it? And was it August? Which is summer-ish. Or did it just say summer?
I think it just says summer 2020.
Yeah, I think it said summer, didn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go. It might be the first game to break the mould. Slap bang right in the middle of like June or something like that. June, July.
I feel like there's definitely been games that have come out July, June time, but okay.
Not big ones. There's definitely games.
Yeah, there's definitely been some.
I think the normally the last game before summer is always usually like May,
Hmm.
which is always like a bloody GTA game or something like that.
Probably, yeah, usually, yeah.
April, May is like the last dates.
I always find that Rockstar games release around about like September, October, November time. When did Red Dead
they have
Redemption...
done recently, yeah.
Well, wasn't Red Dead...
Because I remember GTA 4 coming out in March. Because I remember going to the post office in the morning because they didn't
Oh yeah, we were both in college, weren't we?
Yeah.
yeah.
We
just did nothing but chat about it. Never bothered with college work or anything, just GTA.
Yep.
And that fucking swing set.
Yes.
that was the only online play that I did on GTA 4.
That
just
glitch.
go with that swing set.
It still
just
works,
like,
that glitch. I love how they've never patched it out.
God, like, I remember playing it with you at that bit. We must have been on that swing set for like hours. Just doing
Brilliant.
the same thing again
Brilliant.
and again.
Good times.
I just see how far we can fling ourselves.
So, talking about brilliant games, shall we move on to our best games of this year?
Yeah, this is
Top
our
5.
special segment for this episode. It's our personal top 5 of 2019, not 2009. So we're getting a bit more modernised in this show now.
Just recapping.
Just
general recap.
Just general
Old and new.
chilled back recapping. So you've
go on.
had the old, we can have the new. You want me to go first?
Are you actually numbering them, or are you just saying,
I've
these are just...
got a numbered.
Oh, go on then. You do your first... no, go,
Tell you
go
what,
down.
I'll do 5, then you do 1. No,
Yeah.
I'll do 5, and then etc. etc.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it. You first.
This is Liam's top 5. So for me, number 5 was Astral Chain. I love that game to bits.
Oh,
if you know what game I mean on the Switch.
Yeah.
Nice hack and slash game. I think it was the combat was made by the guy who did the combat for Nier Automata.
Yeah.
And had like all kinds of other big names. I can't remember off the top of my head now, so I do apologise. But yeah, it all came together to make this game that was just like such a satisfying like hack and slash game. Like they use like the Switch features so well and stuff like that. And it's like, again, I was saying to Tim before, I feel like all 5 games on my list are actually games that I've actually finished this year, like actually completed. So for me to actually sit there and finish a game like this, like all the way through, is quite an achievement. So yeah, that's why I made it mine number 5.
There you go.
So yeah, Tim, what's one of yours?
Number 5, I'd say Outer Worlds, even though I've not finished it. Saying that, a lot of these games on my list I've not finished. I think there's one that I have. To be honest, I've not played that much. So it's just one that I've played.
You were just struggling for to fill in a top 5.
No, but no, I enjoyed it a lot. Everybody knows what Outer Worlds is. I think.
Why don't you tell us a bit about them?
It's a action role playing game made by people who did the Fallout and stuff.
You mean Obsidian?
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I enjoy the fact that it focuses more on the dialogue and RPG elements.
That's what Obsidian's always been more known for.
Rather than the combat. I like it. And the freedom in how you want to level up in terms of the RPG to actually get through some of the dialogue options.
To sum it up, it's what Fallout 4 should have been, really.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you took the combat and stuff, not that the combat's particularly great in Fallout, but if you took the combat from Fallout now and chucked it into whatever Obsidian's doing with the Outer Worlds and stuff, I think you'd have a spot on thing. Let Obsidian build the world,
and the story.
build the story,
and the character, basically everything.
Just build everything, and then just take the combat from Fallout, because I think that's the only thing that's lacking about it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a good choice, that.
Yep.
Mate, number 4, Devil May Cry 5. Oh, it was... Because I was still reeling back from what they decided to do from the remake of DMC. When they tried to make it more hip and cool and, Americanized and stuff like that. When this came out, it's like, it was perfect in every way. You had 3 different characters you could play as, like each with their own distinct style. Like for like Devil May Cry terms, but it's good because in games before the previous games before, you only really had 2 people you could play as. If you don't look at Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, because you had about fucking hell, I think about five different characters you can play as with that. But to be fair with that, they had already made Devil May Cry 4 many years ago.
Yeah.
So they basically thought, like, right, we're doing a special edition, so let's really bunker down and add all this extra stuff to it. So the fact that they made this with like so much like content and it looks amazing, the gameplay is amazing. So it's like a satisfying end to what I feel like is, because without spoiling it, the way they ended DMC5 is kind of feel like it's like the end of like an era of DMC. It's kind of like opened it up for like a new age, kind of like what they did, going back to Star Wars again, like what they did with sorry, because you're shaking your head.
Stop bringing Star Wars.
Kind of like what they did with Star Wars, where they had like the newest trilogy, like, they opened it up with all these new like characters and stuff like that, but they still kind of threw in like the old ones. It kind of feels like that. But yeah, combat was like nice and responsive and like really high. It was varied, as I said. There's like the 3 different characters, each one like felt really different and stuff like that. Even one character, Dante, like the main character from bloody hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 as well. Yeah, like his play style is basically like 4 different ones rolled in one anyway. So you could argue there's actually like 7 different characters you can play as. Really,
I don't feel like I've heard much about that from anyone this year.
What, DNC5?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Like if you look hard enough, you'll see lots of people raving about it.
Yeah, but just in that normal groups and stuff that we're in, I feel like no one's really talking about it. It's an odd one.
I feel like the only one that got really massively talked about was the remake, but only because it pissed off so many people.
But it was actually quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was okay, but it's not compared to the other ones. That's all.
Yeah, that's I don't like change and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is fair. If you played as much Devil May Cry as I have, I can see like where they were coming from. But it's a very mixed bag, but that's something for another time.
So number 4 for my list is Untitled Goose Game. Don't look at me like that.
Okay.
It's absolutely brilliant, and it's the only game on this list that I've finished.
You finished it? Fucking love it.
It's just simple. It's simple. It's charming. It's hilarious. It's just brilliant.
Honk.
Exactly.
That's all I see from that game. It's like,
did you see it at the Game Awards, the puppet goose thing?
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, they did a section with the Muppets were on stage doing an award, and then the goose come up and it's like, while they try to talk and stuff. Yeah, it's just brilliant. I absolutely love it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about that game.
I just think about it and it makes me smile, so you can't go wrong, can you?
Can't go wrong with something that makes you smile. No, you might hate me for this one. Number 3, Disco Elysium. I think Tim hates you because it's not number 1. Yeah. Wow, what have we not said about Disco Elysium? I'm so sorry. Yeah, Disco Elysium. It is.
It's your 3rd game on the list.
Yeah.
Just for reference, how much have you played?
About 8 hours, 9 hours.
What day are you on it?
My 3rd day.
Right, okay. That's fine. Carry on.
Can I carry on?
Carry on,
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Wow, what we're not saying about Disco Elysium, it's gameplay, it's simple. Like, it's literally just, you could argue it's just a point and click, really.
I've said it's a point and click.
It's pretty much just a point and click, but it's got so much, like skills and
it's a point and click RPG.
It is, yeah. It's like the skills play such a big part in like how it changes everything. Like it's not just a case of like if you put so many points into like your skills, like you're automatically the best at that. There is consequences to having a lot of points into a certain skill. Now we mentioned it before. Like there's one skill that if you put a lot of points into it, it'll make you very imaginative and creative when it comes to solving crimes, but it also makes you a little bit crazy as well. So you start hearing things talking to you and stuff like that. So you get distracted during certain conversations and stuff like that. And it's just little things like this and it all adds together. Like the writing's brilliant. It's hilarious. Like the amount of freaking screenshots I sent to Tim were just like some of the dialogue I had in that game was hilarious.
It was just constant.
Like for like a week or for like 2-3 weeks, I had chat on WhatsApp was just full of screenshots of Disco Elysium of like all these different dialogue options we kept getting. It
is absolutely the writing is like nothing. I'm so glad that it won Best Narrative at Game Awards because if that didn't win,
I know
something's wrong.
Something was definitely wrong with that.
That is just and it's going to be held. Everything's going to be held to that regard, like, for a long time. Everything's going to be like, Disco Elysium is the one. Yeah, nothing's going to come close to that.
Oh, no,
it's fucking brilliant.
Considering it was a game that pretty much came out of nowhere, that pretty much no one knew about. There was, like, hardly any advertising at all.
I saw this shit coming way before.
I know. Also EGX, like, it's going to be good, Gish.
Yep.
I said to you before, if I knew what kind of game it was and like what it was going for, like more than I do before than what I used to, I would have talked to that developer a lot more. That was
I know, yeah.
stuff like that.
I know, gutted. I was the same. I thought it was just a point and click puzzler. I didn't realise how big it was going to be.
Yeah, like how deep and like everything would go. It's just, like I can't get enough of it. Like, and as I was saying, like it had no advertising. It literally just went off like word of mouth. Like how good it was. I think the
more you play of it, the more it's going to raise up your list. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, pretty much. I say, but now since it released, it's been pretty much on like the Steam top seller, like ever since. Like not right at the top, but always there. You can always see it.
It's deserved.
But again, like I said, there was no advertising at all. It's literally just been word of mouth,
which says a lot.
Exactly, yeah. So we keep saying like you don't have to like go all out to advertise a game if you know it's going to be good. But then again, at the sense you could argue that that's pretty big headed if you say like our game's going to be really good.
There's definitely good games that don't get that traction in terms of word of mouth and just die off, but they are absolutely brilliant games. But this is a gem.
Yeah, it really is. It's a game that just came out of nowhere. It's just, as we say, it's just there's nothing else like it, really.
This like I said, this will be talked about for a long time.
Yeah, gameplay. Gameplay. If you want gameplay, I wouldn't recommend it because it's not very bare bones.
If you like RPGs that are based on dialogue,
if you want what's basically like an interactive story, which is kind of what it is, but a lot more so than what like games like Telltale and stuff like offer you, then Disco Elysium's the one for you.
Yep.
Like you can like literally make your character any way you want.
Yeah,
and not a lot of RPGs can claim that.
And if you like talking to your tie.
If like talking to your ties, you said if you put a lot, if you do what I did and you get your point.
One of the things that people don't seem to mention about it, especially in the reviews at the time, is how funny it is.
It is. It's hilarious.
Not that it's. I mean, the subjects and everything in it are quite bleak. You're practically playing a drunk, washed-up detective.
It is quite dark at times.
Yeah, but it does it in such a way where it's everything is just hilarious. But it's meant to be funny. It's meant to be like satirical kind of.
The developers said that they actually wanted to make this game talk about subjects that aren't really talked about very often.
Yeah, and it does it in. Honestly, you need to just play it to understand it. It's so hard
very
to
hard
describe.
Yeah,
it's just perfect what they've done. It's perfect. The subject matter and how they've gone about it, like you say, making it funny but still being relevant and hard hitting. It's brilliant. Anyway, my third one is Sekiro, and it's another one that I've not finished.
You fucking son of a bitch. Number 3?
Yes, number 3. I probably would have put it higher if I could have finished it.
Yeah.
But fuck them for not putting in a difficulty level. I'm only joking, I get it, I'm not bothered about that. But I can see that it's a brilliant game, and I absolutely do think it's the only reason
which for you to say that is good because you weren't really a big like Dark Souls fan.
I've never played Dark Souls.
No, that's what I mean.
I tried playing a bit of Bloodborne, but I couldn't do the bosses. Any of the first bosses. I played a lot of it, but I just kept roaming the first areas, and then I was just like, I can't do these bosses.
Yeah.
That Gascoigne with the Father Gascoigne or whatever his name was. I just got to him and I'm like, I did it a couple of times. Like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to do this. Like. So I just give up. I bought the Game of the Year edition as well, the bastards, digitally, so I can't sell it. But yeah, Sekiro is just from what I've played. I think shortly after that Raging Bull boss, the Flaming Bull, whatever it is.
I know what you mean.
It's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's so well made. It's really fun to play. I loved like the combat of it. That's it really. Number 2.
Okay. Number 2, Sekiro.
There you go. I feel like you could probably talk more about it, so you may as well.
Yeah, as Tim said, it is good. But it is also very difficult. Like I played Demon Souls, all 3 Dark Souls games, and I played Bloodborne, but even I really struggled with Sekiro just because I wasn't used the way Sekiro works, because it's based during like a sort of like Japanese like samurai kind of period. The gameplay's focused around like a kind of like a parrying, like death blow kind of system. So it's like I don't know, I can't remember what it's called now because it's been a while since I played it. Oh, what's it called? It's not a stamina bar. It's like it's like a posture bar, something like that. Yeah. No, like poise, something like that. Basically, everyone you come across has that, including you. And the idea is that as someone attacks you, you're meant to deflect, like parry the attacks as they come at you. And then once this like statue, this like posture bar fills up enough, they basically opens them up to it's like a death blow. So it's literally just like a one hit kill, which again is very samurai like literally just going like boom, dead. And but when it comes to bosses, you have to do that to them like multiple times, which is where the difficulty really is. Because I remember there's so many bosses in that game that I must have spent hours on. Like that first one, that lady butterfly, she wrecked my shit the first time I played. Played it.
Yeah, I got to her and I beat her, and I was like, "Way!" And then she come back alive, and I was like,
"Oh no, that's it." Yeah,
and I think that's pretty much where I stopped playing. Yeah, I was like,
"Did you actually ever beat her properly, like both phases?"
No, I never did it. Like I said, that was it. I stopped after that.
But yeah, I did finish it, and oh god, I think I said this to you. Like the last boss in that game it took me ages to beat him, and when I did finally beat him, I actually did save the moment that I beat it because I was playing on PS4. I actually did save, like, because it's always recording like last 15 minutes, isn't it? And when I beat him, like the first thing I did was I saved the recording.
Share button, yeah.
So I've got it there on my PS4 when I beat him, only minus my screams of pure joy that you can hear when I finally beat him. But it's good, like not just the gameplay, like the story as well. Like Soul style games that have always had like really good like stories that we don't actually throw everything at you. Like the story is literally like all in the details. You really have to read stuff and like focus and stuff like that. So when you see it, it is quite. There is moments that are quite sad and depressing, but there's some like in-game moments where like the story is tied in with the game that are brilliant. Like I think I mentioned to you that Guardian 8 boss. I remember saying to you, like, just send you a text saying, "Fuck that Guardian 8 boss." And you said, "Yeah, I know exactly what you mean." It's literally like it's like such a difficult boss. It's basically like a massive ape, and you finally kill him, and it's like, yeah, and the game tricks you by saying like, "Oh, boss defeated" and stuff like that. But whenever you fight a boss, like a fog wall comes up because that you can't get through until you beat the boss. So when I beat him, I'm like, right, I'm going to move on now. But the fucking fog wall's still there. And I'm like, why is it still there? Like the music stopped and everything. Next thing I know, the music comes back on. I can hear something behind me. I fucking turn around and I can just see the boss's, like the ape's body getting back on. Now it's headless because I just cut its head off beforehand. It gets up, fucking grabs his big sword. I'm like, no. So it's just stuff like that. It's generally well made. Yeah, sorry, Tim. What's your number 2?
All right, is that it? Is that yeah?
I did go on a bit. Sorry.
Number 2 for me is Death Stranding.
Of course. What more can you say about that game?
Yeah, we spoke about it at the beginning. You do deliveries.
It's a Hideo Kojima game.
You're a pizza guy. Uber Eats and all that. You actually do deliver pizzas in it. And it fucks me
out. Do you really?
Yes.
Doesn't help, does it?
Spoilers. I've only delivered one, and then I saw another one come up, and I went, "You can fuck off. I'm not doing that."
So pizza, more like pizza shit.
No, it is a brilliant game. It's something unique. It's Kojima. It's got all his quirks here and there and bits and that's.
Do you think
I'm about 40, 50, like I said, 40, 50 hours in, and I'm still finding new things. There's still items that I've not even really used and stuff yet. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Do you reckon he's going to do a second one?
No,
basically you're not finished it.
I couldn't say. So I've not finished the story, so I don't know where it's going. But from what I've seen, I don't think a lot of people say no.
Yeah,
a lot of people say no. I don't think he's going to, but I couldn't comment.
Yeah.
Playing it now, I'm like, what? Even though I am enjoying it, would I play a second one?
Yeah.
The answer is probably yes. But do I want to? Probably not. But I'd still play it because I have to.
Right, that's fair enough.
But I could imagine another game where it's another 50 to 100 hours long of just doing this, unless there's some radical changes to it. I imagine it'd get pretty tiresome on a second game.
Yeah.
Which is not the best thing for my second game of the year. In hindsight, no, but yeah, but that's it. It's all right as a one-off thing, and I think he's probably done it because he was short on time and he wanted to get a game out under his new studio and all that.
Yeah,
but there's still a lot there. It's a lot of just simple things. That's it.
Yeah,
which is sometimes the best thing.
Well, yeah, obviously it's worked out in a lot of ways.
So, what's your first game? And it better not be what I think it is. It better not be what I think it is.
Let's find out. Number 1 for me is Katana Zero.
Oh,
what do you think it was?
I thought you were going to say Star Wars.
No.
I thought you were going to say...
No, I'm joking, it's Star Wars. No, Katana Zero. I talked about Disco Elysium and how I loved it for its story, and I talked about Sekiro, and I loved it for its gameplay. For me, Katana Zero it has both of those things together in just the perfect package. Like it is a short game, which is the only bad thing I can say about it, but for what it offers is brilliant. Like I've not really talked about it since probably March, April time, but it's a very like Hotline Miami style of game. Like it's very fast paced and quick, and like when you get kills, like
straight back in.
Yeah, it's like you're like straight back into like the beginning of the area again. So it's very like you always got to be going fast and thinking. But
see, I can't believe I've not played this because that sounds like my.
You should do. It's like
Hotline
really
Miami was.
And like just the way they do like the story, like how do you handle like dialogue choices and stuff like that. Like it is simple, like what they do, but the way it's how they do it that makes it. It's hard to describe. Like it's the music mainly. Like I think with this game as well, I think like one guy pretty much did like the majority of it by himself. And I feel like sometimes that works out best for games because I think in the case of like Undertale, if you know what that game is,
yeah.
I feel like one guy pretty much did like the majority of that as well.
Don't judge me like that. Go on.
Yeah, one guy pretty much did like the majority of Undertale as well, apart from I think it was like the music. And I think it was like a similar case for Katana Zero as well. So I feel like sometimes when you've literally just got one person.
Yeah, like Stardew Valley.
Yeah. So I mean like when you've got one person, you like the vision doesn't get compromised by multiple people trying to get a word in. Like sometimes you can create something really amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not always going to work. Imagine there's stuff like where someone's done that, it's turned out absolute dog shit.
If someone's got the talent and the idea.
Exactly, yeah. And they dedicate the time to it, which I think this guy who made Katana Zero, I think it took him about 6 years to make it all together.
What a fucking scrub.
What a fucking scrub. Fucking could have done it in fucking 4. Yeah, it's great. It's like the gameplay is fast and hectic. There's like a slowed down time. But again, like the way they explain like how he's capable of slowing down time and even how he dies and keeps going back to the beginning, it's explained in like a way that makes sense.
Right.
Because the way he does it is like he gets to like the beginning of every area and he like visualizes in his head like what's he gonna do. So as you're doing it, which is like what you're playing, and then as he dies and goes back to the beginning, it's like maybe that won't work. So he tries again. So it makes sense. So once you like do like a full thing like where you don't die and get to the end, he goes like, yeah, that'll work. And then it gives like a quick like playthrough of like where it's getting viewed for like a security camera of like what actually happens.
Right.
But it does create some like really interesting moments. Like without spoiling it, like you come up with people who are like similar to like you. Right. Like the character, like they can do what you can do. And the way they do this like picturing in your head what's going to happen between two people is very interesting how it plays out. No, but I can't tell you more without spoiling it. No. But yeah, it's I do highly recommend playing it. It's cheap as chips at the moment. Like even when it came out, it was like I think it was like £15.
Yeah.
So it's literally nothing. But for such an amazing, brilliant game, it's like whenever I try and think of like what games I've enjoyed this year, it's Katana Zero is always the first one I think of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, Sekiro, but Katana Zero is the one for me.
That's fine. That's good.
Good. That's my top 5 for you folks. Over and out.
My number 1 was Disco Elysium.
What a fucking shocker.
But we spoke about that, so we'll just move on.
Well, what's your thoughts of it, Tim?
It's brilliant.
There you go.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, we spoke about it before.
Yeah. You don't need us to chat on it anymore.
I don't need to repeat it. Curveball. I'm going to throw you in right here.
Go on then.
One game that highlights what you think should be on that top spot for the decade, considering we're going into 2020.
What do you mean, my favourite game of the entire decade?
Yeah, what is like, right, the past decade, that is the one that I think of. Come on. Do it.
Witcher 3.
Ooh. I don't think you'd say that.
Wow, what do you
think? I don't know. I thought because you normally come up with some weird shit. So I thought you was going to come out with some.
No, it was either Witcher 3 or the first Dark Souls.
Right, okay.
But yeah, obviously Dark Souls, because as I'm a huge fucking Dark Souls fan, and that was really the game that started it off for me. Demon Souls I did like, but it didn't. I did finish it, and I stuck with it for a while, like for the PvP and stuff, and it never got me into those kind of games as much as Dark Souls did. And Witcher 3, bloody hell, what can I tell you about Witcher 3 that the entire gaming community has not told you?
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, for me, those are the two games that really do it for me this decade.
Good.
What about you?
I'd probably say Witcher as well, but not the top. My top would be The Witness.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I fucking adore that game so much.
I know.
I adore that game. You've never played it, have you?
No.
Oh my god. That game made me see things in game design that I'd never seen before.
Did you feel like you were witnessing something? Maybe?
I was witnessing special things, and honestly, you need to play that goddamn game.
I do. I think I've got it on PlayStation Plus because it was free.
It was,
yeah. So I actually have it on my PS4.
Oh, honestly, one day over Christmas, whenever you're off, and you think, you know what, I can't be asked playing anything, which never really happens, does it? Because there's too much to play.
Yeah.
But if you think, I just want to chill out with something, there's no real music to it or anything. There's no, like, all you can hear is your footsteps as you're walking about and stuff like that and whatever. It's such a chill game. Make sure you've got a pen. Make sure you've got a notepad, because you'll fucking need it. But honestly, play it. I really want your opinion on it, because I nearly told you to play it for this month, but I thought it's too recent to play.
Yeah, you did actually say his witness a bit too recent.
Yeah, but I really want to know what you say about it. Because there was a point where
when did it come out? Was it 2000?
It's about 3 years old.
It's about 2016ish,
something like that. Yeah.
Guess we'll have to play it in 2026.
No, but it's like there's a point in that game where I'd played it for so long. Oh, it's just puzzles. It's literally just puzzles. But the way it goes about it, the way it teaches you, honestly, it's fucking magic, man. And there's a point later in the game where I'm not going to say it, because it was a big point for me where I was like,
I'm in love.
No, it was like, shit, I never thought. And it kind of like takes over your brain, literally, and like in the game where you start questioning everything you've been seeing.
Right.
And I don't want to say it, like, I was literally dreaming about the puzzles in The Witness, honestly. And I've seen other people saying it. And then there was points in the game towards the end where I was like, oh shit, like this is so much deeper than I thought it was. Like what am I missing?
Right.
Because of things that I discovered, what else am I missing? So yeah, that's all I'll say.
Something for you guys to think of there.
And I just want another Jonathan Blow game, to be honest. And I've never played Braid yet, so
I've played about maybe 70% of Braid. Yeah. It is good.
Yeah, I think he's got a knack for puzzle games. He's got a brain for that, definitely. And he needs to just start doing more.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Part 1.
Part 1's done. We're gonna get cracking on with part 2 pretty soon.
Yep.
So as always, thanks for listening.
Yep. And
if you enjoyed it, we'll see you in part 2.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.